Hey guys, welcome to my channel How to Learn. In this video, I want to explain about RestClient and how to implement it in Spring Boot. Actually, in Spring Boot 3.2, RestClient was introduced. And now we may get it out. We have REST template, right? Why do we really need this RestClient? REST template is good, but it has some limitations like it have many overloaded methods. Okay, and it is very confusing to understand in which situation, which method we need to use. But if we come to this REST client, it is very simple, clear and concise. Okay, and it is using Fluent API, which is a modern API as underlying implementation. Now we are done with the introduction of REST client, and if you observe here, I have created an employee service, right, which have controller and entity and service. Here what I'm doing is, here I'm just simply performing CRUD operations, saving a new employee into database, deleting the employee based on ID, and trying to retrieve the data based on ID and update the employee here. Now what I'll do is, I'll just try to test it once. Okay, once if you observe it is working fine, then we can create a new REST client service and test it using REST client to employee service. It means I'll call the REST client service, which will call this employee service based on the REST client. Now our application got started. Let me go to our Postman and try to create a new employee. Here, if you observe, a new employee got created, right? Now let's try to retrieve the data based on this ID. Our ID number is 6. Here we got the data, right? It means now our get and save methods are working. Now I will try to update the data here. Let me copy this here and let me paste it now. Let me say city is Bangalore, and now I will try to update it. Even now our this endpoint update endpoint is also working. I will try to delete this data using this delete endpoint. Now if you observe, our data got deleted. Now I will just test it by using this get by ID to confirm my data is got deleted. Now if you can see here, right, our all endpoints are working. Now what I'll do is I'll create a REST client service. Here I have selected build tool as Maven and given the group ID artifact ID and added a dependency Spring Web and Lombok. I have already generated this project. What I need to do here is I need to just import it from my downloads. Let me do it now. Let me click on OK and click on finish now. Now my REST client service got imported, right? Now I need to create few packages here. First package is entity. I can select DTO and our DTO name is employee. Let me copy the data from here and paste it into here. Yeah, we are done with copying. Let me paste it here. Let me copy the setter getters. Now what I need to do means I need to create a service here. So I am creating a package initially. Dot service, and the service name is employee REST client service. Now what we will do means here we will write logic to interact with employee service from here. Let me annotate this as @service. Okay, let me declare a variable here, private final REST client. Now let me create a constructor. This dot REST client equal to REST client dot builder dot base URL dot build. Here I have added the base URL which we configured. It means we are trying to interact with employee service which is hosted on 8080, and here if you observe, we are using EMP as request mapping for this controller, so I'm using it here. Okay, now let me try to write code for interacting with REST client by REST client to the employee service. Now here let me say return REST client dot post dot content type media type dot application underscore JSON dot body employee, and here we need to use the retrieve method. We need to say what is the type of body here. Our type is employee.class. and here we need to write the code for delete by id. Here also, here we are using the void method. The reason we are just deleting the employee, we don't have any return type, right? RestClient dot delete dot URI. Let me go to controller and copy the URI. Delete by id. That means copy this here and paste the id here. Dot retrieve to empty body. Okay, here we can say bodiless entity because we are not retrieving anything from this endpoint. Now let's go to our get employee by id. Return RestClient dot get method dot URL. Let me go to controller and copy the URL from here. Get by id comma id. Here we are retrieving the data, right? To which format we are retrieving? We are retrieving the format employee.class. So we need to say retrieve.body employee.class. Now we are done with this 3 endpoints, and the last one is updating. Let's come here. Return RestClient dot put. As it is a put mapping, here we are using dot put dot URI update. Let me copy the content type from here. Dot content type application.json that body employee dot retrieve, and what is the retrieval type? Employee.class. Now we are done with configuration of REST client. So I will create a controller here. First of all, let me create a package for this controller. Dot controller. Let's say it is employee test controller. Employee test controller. Let me copy the code from employee controller and paste it here. Let me say it from here. Page. Let me copy up to this post mapping and paste it here. And now let me annotate this class as @REST controller. Okay, here we need to auto wire our service. Nothing. Now let me change the occurrences of employee service with our client service. Okay, let me copy paste here. Yeah, now we are done with the configuration, and let me change the server dot port here. Okay, our default port is I080, right? Let me change it to 9090. Now let me start this application. Once the application got started, we can start the testing. Meanwhile, let's go here and change the port numbers. Okay, and here also it is 9090, and let's go here and change it to 9090. Let me go to a delete mapping also. It's 9090. Yeah, I hope our application will be started. Yeah, our application is started. Now let me clear the console here. Now let me try to save some data into our database. Let's say we have to learn, and let me click on this send. Now after sending this request, I got this internal server error. Okay, the reason is here I forgot to configure URI. I can say like URL. Let me say here save. Even here I need to place this forward slashes. Let me go down. Yeah, now let me restart the application once again. Let's wait for the application to get started. Application is almost got started. Yeah, now let me test the endpoints. Let me say save. If you observe, I'm saving data using my REST client application. Okay, not using our employee service. So what's happening here? This REST client service is interacting employee service using this REST client. Now let me try to perform all the operations here. Let me try to get the data by using the ID. Yeah, I got the data, right? Even now I'll try to perform some update operation. I was able to successfully update this record. Now let me try to delete this. Sorry. Yeah, now I was able to delete this record. Now we have performed CUD operations using our REST client. Okay, we have not interacted to the database directly using this REST service application. We have used this REST client and interacted our employee service. I hope now you guys understand how to implement REST client service using Spring Boot. If you like my video, please like and subscribe to my channel.